Hello, I'm Carol Kaemmerer, and I am so pleased that you've joined me. If you are here because you're looking for more clients or customers, you've come to the right place. If you are here because you are not getting the kind of recognition in your role at work that you deserve, you're in the right place. If you are here because you've just lost your job and looking for the next one, you are in the right place. I want you to know that LinkedIn can be your own best brand ambassador. But before you can set up LinkedIn to operate effectively for you 24/7, you need to be your own best brand ambassador. We need to tell our story effectively. Let me illustrate that by telling Janet's story. Janet came to me. She was the top executive for a very small trade association. And she was upset because she had just lost out on an opportunity for a much larger role. Same role, actually, but much larger association. And she said she was flummoxed as to why it was initially. Here's the story she told to me. She thought she had really aced the interview. She was just sure she had the job in the bag. So that when the phone rang, she expected them to tell her what day to show up. But instead, she got, Janet, I'm sorry to tell you that our association has had to go another way. We've hired someone else. She was astounded. And so she said, well, since she knew someone who had recommended her, she knew he'd have inside information. So the next time she saw him, she said, I just don't understand. What was it that I didn't have that the other person did? I was so perfect. And he said, Janet, your LinkedIn profile just was hardly there. She said, well, it wasn't important to me. If it was important, if I knew it was important to you, I could have done better. And he said, really, we are an association and we expect that our chief executive be able to convey our brand powerfully online, on social media. And you couldn't even handle that for yourself. Janet's story is not unlike so many of us. We forget that we need to really share ourselves online because that's the way that people are finding us. So I want for you a willingness to convey who you are authentically on LinkedIn. I want you to know how important it is. If you don't claim your greatness, who will? If you don't articulate why you are an effective professional, who will? The issue is that we need to not only love ourselves, but love ourselves online because that's where people are looking for people just like us. People who need new clients and customers, people who are looking to move up in the world of work, people who are looking for the new job. We are being not only vetted on LinkedIn, but also sourced by recruiters and headhunters through LinkedIn. And so it's important that we use this tool effectively. I want you to be memorable on LinkedIn. And I know that the very most memorable profiles start right here in your heart center. Some of us call that your brand. Now, brand may be kind of ephemeral, but I have 3 questions that I use very effectively in helping people discern their brand sufficiently for creating a great and powerful LinkedIn profile. And here they are. I'm going to share them with you. And these are so powerful. I hope that you will write them down and act on them after the session. So the first one is, what are the 3 things you want to be known for? What are the 3 things you want to be known for? Second is your differentiators. What makes you different from other people who do similar work? What do you bring that is special and that adds your own brand of sparkle? And then lastly, what are your key words? So when you begin to work on your profile, we need to know these 3 things because together they can make a very powerful profile. I'm going to give you the gift of time. 4 minutes to begin that process. It won't be done when you're done with the 4 minutes. As a matter of fact, it could take quite a long time, but it's a start. And I want you to feel that sense of start and that accomplishment. So in a few minutes, you're going to see a timer and it will count down 4 minutes. There'll be a little signal and I'll be back. This is not done. We're just getting started. Okay, I hope that that was a helpful start. And I encourage you to continue to flesh out your responses to the rest of those questions. When we have our responses as building blocks, we can create powerful headline, powerful about section, powerful experience section, and skills. So make sure, again, that we're talking about three because our brain is hardwired to remember three things. Three blind mice, three billy goats gruff, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I came, I saw, I conquered. Three is always memorable. More than three, and you look unfocused. When we look unfocused, we're not the right person for the job. So this is what the headline looks like when we begin using those building blocks. This is my client, Pam, and this is the default heading that headline that LinkedIn assigned to her because it's her current position title. But we have 220 characters to bring value here. And so Pam also wants to be known as a visual facilitator and a speaker. And this is the way that she adds value to others by guiding stakeholders to a shared vision of the future. So Catherine Gray, also president of her own company, which is a health technology company. This is how she brings value, innovating to create a better, smarter, more efficient healthcare system. That rule of three, it rings in our ears. This would have been Nicolette's headline because it's her current position, but it just wasn't bringing value to her. And so we looked for another functional job title and came up with innovative healthcare leader. And this is how she adds value in the world of work, driving innovation at the nexus of payers, providers, and consumers in healthcare. This is Amalia. Here's how she wants to be known: as bilingual spokesperson, as award-winning chef, author, and consultant, as a leading authority on Latin cuisine. And she's not done: effectively connecting food brands to the US and Hispanic markets. This is the About section. And no, I don't expect you to read all of this. But what I want you to notice is that this is what 2,600 characters looks like. Looks like 4 fat paragraphs. Every About section should be written in the first person because that is the language that we use to establish an emotional connection between ourselves and our readers. And then the other thing that I wanted you to notice is that we've used 3 things to give our About section some shape. Now, many people have a 2-sentence About section. And the reason that that doesn't work for us is that this 2,600 characters we have is a great way to showcase our keywords. You see, LinkedIn is a search engine, and if we are writing only 2 sentences, we can't possibly use our LinkedIn keywords very often. But when we are writing about what we're passionate about, our keywords just spill out of us. And that is how the search engine finds us for our ideal opportunities. Okay, this is the experience section. And What I wanted to communicate about the experience section is a good practice is to talk about the context in which we worked in the first paragraph and then to have bullet points. The bullet points should be our accomplishments, not our responsibilities, but our accomplishments. And you can see this individual had wonderful metrics that they could use. And if you've got metrics, return on investment, year over year increases, that kind of thing, that is very effective. And so if you've got that, show it. Now I'm showing you one of my about section, one of my experience section. Experience is because I have a logo. Now, if you are an entrepreneur or a business owner, it's really important that you have a logo. It makes us look as though we have a real job as opposed to a hobby. In order to get a logo, we need to create a company page. And if you need a logo and therefore you need a company page, I would recommend that you Google how do you set up a company page on LinkedIn. It will take you to the right place on LinkedIn's help section, and it's absolutely so easy to set it up. You need to have a website. You need to have an email that goes to that website, and you need a logo. And then you can have a company page, and it's all free. What a deal. Okay, this is the skills section. And the skills section of today looks very different than the skills section of past iterations of LinkedIn. It used to be that we could see 20 skills before you had to click see more. And then it was 10 skills. Now it's only 3. And that sounds a lot like the 3 things we want to be known for. And in fact, since we can only see the top 3 before we hit see more, people will take the top skills showing as your word for what are the 3 most important skills that you have. So if you are not leading with your top 3, you're shooting yourself in the foot. I want to make sure that the top 3 skills are showing. So in a few minutes, we'll give you an opportunity to make a difference. Now, know that it doesn't matter how many endorsements you have for the top 3 skills. You can move any skill into the top position. And the way that we do that is that we access the blue pencil in the skills section. And then on the left-hand side, there will be a push pin by the top 3. And if you want to demote one of those to a lower position, you just unclick the push pin. Then you can find another skill to add into that top position. To do that, you just click the push pin on another skill and it will fly to the top. So let's get started with that. We have 4 minutes. And again, I'm going to show the countdown timer. Know that when you hear the little alarm, I will be there to meet you at the end and we'll continue. Okay. Now, we're pretty much done with the words part. Now we're looking at features that can delight the eye, because when we delight the eye, we create a profile that is memorable. So the first section that we could impact is the banner that sits behind our picture. This is my client, Tony, and he is the owner of a company, K1 Sportswear, and in northern Minnesota, they manufacture the highest quality professional team uniforms, just like these, worn by the USA hockey team. Perfect picture, perfect banner. Most of us don't have a product that we can advertise just like Tony did, but we can convey our brand in a visual way. So Catherine is an innovator, and this image was a good image to talk about being a pioneer and an innovator. Amalia's got all kinds of fun going on. And Nicolette is an innovator also. She sees the world differently. Okay, this is a new section. This is a brand new section, and it's called the featured section. It is a very visual section, and we can load up posts, which is what Tony's done, or we could load up images, we can load up video, we can load up all kinds of things. Make sure that whatever you're loading is visual. I have seen so many people shoot themselves in the foot because they've uploaded something that's just a document filled with words. There's nothing pretty about that. It's like inviting a black hole to your featured section. Please don't do that to yourself. You would be better with no featured section than a featured section with documents that were just Word documents. Okay, you might not think of your LinkedIn URL as a visual image, but it actually is, because if you've never customized your URL, it's ungainly. It has a bunch of numbers after your name, and it looks so lame on your business card or in your signature block on your emails. But if you customize it, it looks sharp, it looks branded. So in order to customize your URL, you want to be on the right-hand side of your profile at the top, and you can find a way to customize your URL. If you have a difficult name, like I do, you can probably get by with just your name, and that's great. But if you have a short name or an easy name, a lot of other people probably have that name too. And so you're going to have to do something to make it special. Add a word or something to the front or the back to make it stand out. One of my clients added change to her profile because she manages change in her organization. Okay, I love this new feature. It's not for the eye, it's for the ears. It's called the name pronouncer. And that little speaker icon, if you were to push it on my profile, it would speak to you, Carol Kaemmerer. It's great. Make sure that if you have a difficult name, that you use this feature to your benefit. Now, in order to get this feature to show up, you need to be on your phone, on the LinkedIn app on your phone. And go ahead and when you use that, then you can record your name and listen to it and see if it sounds good. If it does, accept it, and then it will show up regardless of what platform someone visits your profile on. So if you have an easy to say name, use it to listen to other people's names so that you will pronounce it correctly. And you also might consider recording your headline, for instance, on the app. It's a tagline after all. So now we come to resources. LinkedIn is so difficult to understand how to use it correctly. And I have just grazed the top hairs here talking about your profile, but LinkedIn is so much more than just your profile. It is about how you interact with people online. It is all of the ways that people perceive us on this platform. And that's why I wrote my book, LinkedIn for the Savvy Executive, Promote Your Brand with Authenticity, Tact, and Power. This book is available online through Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, and other online booksellers. I think that you'll find it valuable. I also write an article every month about LinkedIn. And this particular article is my October article, and it talks about how we should change particular settings so that we're not doing our brand an injustice. So take a look at this article. I think that you will find it helpful. And then I invite you to connect with me on LinkedIn, to follow my company page, which is carolkaemmerer.com. The reason that you might like to do that is that my 72 articles are there, as well as my little LinkedIn lesson series. That's a weekly series. I invite you to learn from my book, my articles, my online posts. And if you find that something that I've provided online is helpful to you, I'd welcome you to respond with a like and a comment, because that helps me get to know you, and it helps my material to travel farther to others that you know. And I have a special gift for you. I would urge you to connect with me online and request my gift. My gift is a step-by-step guide for crafting your powerful LinkedIn profile. And as an extra bonus, I will add you for my monthly newsletter, which allows you to see my monthly articles right in your inbox. What a pleasure to be with you. Thank you so much.